Okay. Now, I think last time we talked about the tenses, especially the present simple and present progressive. Now, in lesson 11, we are going to revise you with the tenses which we studied in this unit. Look at the first. Here we have the present simple and the present progressive tense. Who can read about the two tenses?
Hello?
Read about the simple present and the present progressive, please. Read. Adnan, where are you, Adnan? Yes. Adnan, I think you have a problem. Okay,
Yeah,
Adnan. Yes.
it's clear now.
Adnan, I think you have something wrong with you. Okay, Anwar, are you here, Anwar?
Hello?
Anwar.
Mister, do you hear me?
Yes, 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 ya Adnan. Yalla, read.
Okay. Present from the beginning.
Yeah, read the explanation. We use the present simple to talk
Okay.
about habits and routines.
We use the present simple to talk about habits or routines. We use the present progressive for actions occurring now or for a temporary situation.
Good. Now here we have examples. Look at the first example. Omar lives in Riyadh. He works for a big computer company as a computer scientist. So you realize here we have, actions which refer to what? To habits or routines.
Habit.
Look at the second example. Omar is working at Al Qasim Science Center in Saudi Arabia. He is creating an exhibit named Computers in the Future. This talks about temporary situation. Now, if you want to talk about temporary situation, not, let us say permanent, we use the present progressive. Now here also, I think we talked about the present progressive, which refers to the future. We can also use the present progressive tense to talk about arrangements and scheduled events in the future. Using verb to be with the verb with ing with time expressions refers to future. Who can read the question?
Can I read?
يلا يا
Anwar.
Anwar, sorry.
Okay. Question. When are they flying to Dubai?
Good. You realize here we use what? We use the present progressive, but
Yes.
it refers to future. It refers to future. Good. Okay, read the second question. When are they flying to Dubai? They are flying to Dubai tonight. Here we ask about what? Future. Good. Okay, read the second question. Ahmed Horani, are you here?
Yes, Mr. Amir.
Please read the second question.
Okay. When are the new cars coming out?
Good. When are the new cars coming out? Also here we ask about the future using the present progressive. لاحظ انه احنا بنسأل عن the future لكن استخدمنا the present progressive. Good. Read the answer, Ahmed.
They're coming out next year.
Good. They are coming out next year. Now, what about the last question here under the present progressive or for the future? Samir, Hamza Samir. Are you here, Hamza? Hamza Sabbagh.
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Please read the next.
When is Omar leaving for Riyadh?
Good. Read the answer, please.
He's flying at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you very much. Also here we ask about, the future using the present progressive. Okay, now move to the next part, which talks about, the time expressions. Now, if you want to use the future, sometimes we have to what? To use the time expressions like what? Look at the words which are written in bold. Look at the words which are written in bold. Tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. So these are soon, next Monday, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, etc. These
Later this
expressions
evening.
refer, Yes, this evening, this, let us say Monday, this morning, etc. This evening, sorry, this evening. Look here, what are you going to do tomorrow? I'm going to visit the Museum of Science and Technology. Will she go on this school trip next week? Yes, she will. Are you sitting examinations next month? Yes, I am. So, this part is talking about, the time expressions. Okay, now move to the fourth, section, which talks about, the suggestions. How can we suggest? If you want to make suggestions here, we can use 3 different ways. What are they? We can use let's, we can use how about, or why don't we, or you. Why don't you? Why don't we? So these are the beginnings of making suggestions. Now we have some rules that we have to take in our consideration. And after let's, we have to use what? Bare infinitive. Look at
What
the
is it?
example. Who can read the first example?
Karin?
Bare infinitive.
Ah.
يلا عدنان.
Let's look for the hidden treasure.
Good. Let's look for the hidden treasure. We do not say let's looking or let's to look or let's looked. Here after let, we have to use bare infinitive, a verb without to. الفعل المجرد, okay? Let's look for the hidden treasure. So if you want to suggest for someone, you can use let's. Let's look for the hidden treasure. Now the answers will be different. Some will agree, others will disagree. Now if you want to agree, you can say, great idea, good, of course, why not, etc. Sounds great. But if you want to apologize or to disagree, you can, sorry, we can't, we don't have a map, etc. Who can read the second example? Khalid Bilal, are you here? Abdullah Fadi. يلا يا عبد الله فادي, are you here? يلا زين, يلا read.
How about making a time capsule for the school project? Great idea, let's do it.
Thank you, Zain. Now look here, if you want to use, how about in making, suggestions, the verb must be what? Be ing form. How about making? Not make, not to make, not made. How about making? Sometimes we can use what about, okay? Sometimes we can use what about. How about making a time capsule for the school project? Look at the answer, great idea, let's do it. Good, thank you, Zain. Then, after how about, we have to use verb ing form. After let's, we have to use bare infinitive, a verb without any endings. Now, what about the third question? Who can read the third, let us say, way of making suggestions? Nordin, are you here?
Yes.
Read the third, example. Why don't we?
Why don't we design a robot to help with the cleaning?
Good. Why don't we? So here, this expression also is used for making suggestions. Why don't we design a robot to help with the cleaning? Yes, why not? That's, sounds great. So, this part is talking about making suggestions. If you want to make a suggestion, you can start with let's, followed by bare infinitive, how about, followed by ing form, and why don't we or why don't you, followed by also a bare infinitive. Good. Now move to the next. Here we have examples.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. In making suggestions, we only use bare infinitive when we have let's, and yes, why don't we?
But how about, what about?
We can use the participle.
ing form.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Okay, now look at exercise A. Hussein and Ahmed are going on a school trip. They will visit a new science and technology museum, work with a partner, ask and answer, use future forms and time expressions. Now here we have, example. We are going to read together the example. We need two of you to read the dialogue. Who wants to be A and who wants to be B?
And B, A?
Noor and Adnan. Yeah.
Okay.
When are
Who is A? Who is B?
أنا A.
will be yeah. That's up to you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm A. When are they going?
They are going tomorrow.
Good.
When
They are
will
going.
Okay. What
Continue.
will they see and do at the museum?
They are going to see exhibits about robots.
Exhibits about robots.
Exhibits about robots. They will learn about space travel in the future.
Good.
What will they learn? What will they take?
You can say anything. They will take, for example, a lot of photos there. Maybe. Okay. They will take, for example, a lot of photos. Okay. Now here again, we use, the future forms and, the time expressions, asking about, the school trip for Hussein and Ahmed. We can, use more questions. Look at the sample answers. What will they wear in the laboratory? Just 1 minute, please. Okay. Look here. What will they wear in the laboratory? They will wear a white coat and a mask to protect their eyes. Also, what time are they going to eat lunch? They are going to eat lunch. Who wants again the sample answers? We need two of you to read. We need Bilal. Are you here, Bilal? Khalid Bilal.
Yes, mister.
And Ubada. Ubada, are you here?
Mister, I have a question.
Yes, Adnan.
Should we write them?
Adnan.
Should we write them?
No. If you want to picture them, it's okay. Okay, Ubada and who's the second? Khalid?
Me.
Bilal.
Okay, now read, here together the dialogue between A and B. One will be A, the second will be B.
Okay, I will be A.
Okay, start.
When are they going?
Good.
They are going tomorrow.
What will they see and do at the museum?
They are going to see exhibits about robots. They will learn about space travel in the future.
What will they take?
They will take photos. Okay, now we need to read the sample.
Okay.
We need to read the sample answers. A and B. What will they wear in the laboratory? They will, wear a white coat and a mask to protect their eyes. What time are they going to eat lunch? They are going to eat lunch at 1 o'clock. Okay, now let's move to the next exercise, exercise B. Again, about Hussein and Ahmed. They are, at the museum. They are discussing what to see and do. Here we are going to make a dialogue. Okay. We are going to make a dialogue. And we need to use, the language for making and responding to suggestions. In other words, we are going to make suggestions about Ahmed and, Hussein. Look at the example. Let's go to the space show. Ahmed, great idea. Oh, wait, we cannot. It's sold out. How about, for example, going to the, let us say, the dinosaur section? How about going to the dinosaur, section, etc. Now here we have different examples. not about Hussein and Ahmed. Look, let's play football in the park. Here we have, let's say, suggestions, not about Hussein and Ahmed. Make suggestions using the following phrases: go shopping, watch TV, drink coffee in a cafe, eat out. Who can make a suggestion about going shopping?
Can I make one?
يلا عدنا.
How about we spend some time shopping?
How about
we go shopping?
Going shopping. Good. Now after how about we have to put ing form. How about going shopping? How about watching TV? Now if you want to agree, you can great. You can say great. That's good idea. But if you want to apologize, you can sorry, مثلا, I'm busy. Okay, now what about the next? Watch TV. Who wants to make another instruction? Who can make another suggestion?
Can I make another one?
Hamza, are you here, Hamza?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Okay, make another suggestion about drink coffee, about drinking coffee in a cafe. Try to suggest to your friend.
Okay. How about we drink a coffee in a cafe this evening?
Hamza, just take in your consideration. After how about, we have to use what? ing form. How about drinking coffee? Let's drink. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. How about drinking coffee in a cafe? Good. It sounds great. So, let us say a nice idea. Okay, now let's move to the next page. Look at your books on page 45. You remember when we talk about, the information questions, we start with WH questions. And I think we said that we have two kinds of questions, WH questions with yes/no questions. Now here we have WH questions. We have to use, the question words like what, where, when, why, etc.
Who, how?
Yes. The answers will be, full answers, not yes/no or questions. Yes. Now, who can read the first question?
Can I read it?
Yeah. Yes.
What are you going to do in the summer?
Good. Read the answer.
I'll probably travel.
Good. What are you going to do in the summer? I'll, probably travel. Where will you go? I'll go to Najran. How will you get there? Maybe I'll drive. You remember when we talk about will, we said that we use with will. If we are not certain, we use it probably or maybe. Maybe is used with what? With uncertainty. If you are not sure whether the action will be happen or not, you can use maybe or probably. Maybe I will drive. Probably I will drive. Maybe yes, maybe no. So we use with will, okay, probably or maybe to express what? Doubt or uncertainty. But if you are sure, you can use what? Going to
be.
Yes, going to is used with
certainty, assurance,
certainty. Express certainty. Yes.
ما فهمت كتير والله.
Huh?
ما فهمت كتير.
You don't understand it?
No.
Okay. Now we use with will. Okay, probably or maybe. If we use these two words with will, it means that we are not sure whether the action will, let us say, occur or not. هلا إذا استخدمنا probably أو maybe مع will معناته إحنا مش متأكدين إنه راح يصير الفعل أو لا. لما تقول والله maybe I will drive. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay. Probably I will visit him, but I don't know whether I will do it or not. Here we use probably and maybe to express uncertainty. حتى نعبر عن شيء يعني مش مؤكد مش أكيد. We use will. But if you are certain, we use going to. I'm going to visit Ahmed next week. خلاص. That's يعني sure. I'm going to visit Ahmed. But if I say I will visit Ahmed, maybe I will visit him. I don't know. Maybe I will not. Okay. طيب, now move to the tag questions. You remember, I think we talked about, the question tags, the questions which come at the end of a sentence.
Yes, you also send the video.
Yes, we use the tag questions to check information, to be sure. In other words, we use the auxiliary and the subject pronoun to emphasize, the answer. Okay? Sometimes we emphasize by using the tag questions اللي هي الأسئلة الاستفهامية. Okay? هاي اللي هي الأسئلة المذيلة أو الأسئلة الاستفهامية. Just to emphasize, the answer. We use tag question to check information. We use an auxiliary verb and a subject personal pronoun with an affirmative sentence. With an affirmative sentence, we use a negative tag. With a negative sentence, we use an affirmative tag, the opposite.
So the screen spirit.
أستاذ ما في شاشة.
هلا بنشاركها يمكن فصل شوي مش عارف شو اللي صار.
Okay.
Someone else has started sharing. Okay. Just
خلصت الحصة.
لا. Okay.
طيب اوكي.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, again, back to the tag questions. If the sentence is affirmative, the question will be what? Negative. Okay, إذا الجملة مالها في البداية بتكون affirmative, السؤال الاستفهامي must be what? Negative.
Negative.
If, the sentence is negative, the question will be what?
Positive.
Affirmative. Yes, positive or affirmative. The opposite. Look at the first example. Global, who can read the example?
Can you read?
Yes.
Okay. Global warming will melt the ice at the poles, won't it?
Good. Global warming will melt the ice at the poles. Won't it? Look here. Global warming will. So the question will be will not it. It here refers to what? To the global warming. Who can read the next? Amir, are you here, Amir?
Yes.
Please read the next question. Yes.
Yes, the screen is loading. The screen is loading. Okay.
Okay, don't worry.
Which one?
Tag questions on page 45. Look at your book.
Yes.
The second example. Most people use their cars.
Most people use their cars to get around the city, don't they?
Thank you. Thank you. That's enough. Most people use their cars. You realize here we have what? An affirmative sentence. So the question will be negative. We use don't because here we have affirmative. And they instead of most people. Now the next, scientists. Who wants to read? Abdullah Fadi, are you here?
Yeah, of course I'm here, mister.
Okay, read the third example. Scientists are close.
Scientists are close to finding a cure for
cancer. Good.
For cancer. Aren't they?
Aren't they? So you realize here the sentence is affirmative, are. Now scientists, plural, so we have to use they instead of that. Aren't they? Aren't, the opposite of are, and they instead of scientists. Good. Who can read the next example? Anwar? It usually snows in winter. Look here. It usually snows in winter, doesn't it? The next. You are from Riyadh.
Aren't you?
Good. You are from Riyadh, aren't you? You realize here at the beginning of the sentence, it is what? Affirmative. But the question will be what? The question will be negative. Now look at the next column. Negative sentence with affirmative tag question. People will not live on, other planets in 100 years. Will they? You realize here the sentence is negative. So the question will be affirmative. Who can read the next example?
Can I read?
Okay. يلا عدنان.
They are not going to go on the school science trip, or are they?
Good. They are not. It will become aren't they? Or are they? Sorry. They are not going. Are they? The third question.
Can I read?
Yes.
He isn't working at the research center tomorrow, is he?
Good. So you realize here the sentence is negative, so the question tag will be what? Affirmative. Thank you. Next. Ubada. Ubada, are you here? طيب عادل. ضياء.
Yes.
Okay, read the next, please. Yeah.
It doesn't usually rain in summer, does it?
Good. You realize here at the beginning of the sentence, we have a negative. It doesn't. So the question tag will be affirmative. Does it? Good. The last one, she isn't from Muscat. Here we have she isn't.
Yeah, so is she?
Is she? Good.
Yeah.
So this is about the tag question. Okay, now move to the exercise C, then we will stop. Here we have to find out about your classmates' hobbies and interests. Who can read? Adnan, are you here, Adnan?
Yes, I am here.
Read exercise C, please.
Find out about your classmates' hobbies and interests. Ask and answer questions about their plans for the various times in the box. Use future forms and time expressions.
Good. Now here we can use, let us say the time expressions to make what? To make questions about the plans in the future. Look at the example. What are you going to do on the weekend? I will visit my cousins. I will probably go horseback riding on Saturday. That sounds great. What will you do on the weekend? I will probably go to the new science museum with my brother. I haven't been yet. You realize here we use a probably. It means that
certainty, maybe happen, maybe not.
He is not sure whether he will go or not. Now we can use these, time expressions in making what, like these conversations. Look at the example. What are you going to do in the summer? Look here. These are samples. I'll go to Abha. I will probably go hiking and camping in the mountains. That sounds great. Another example. This time we will use well. What will you do in the summer? I will probably visit, Ithra, King Abdulaziz Cultural Center in Dhahran. I will visit Science Museum with my family. Okay, so this is about, the exercise C. Let's stop here. Okay, any question? Now here we have a homework.
No, thank you.